Now on Mississippi Insight. Two Mississippi crime fighters, Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade and Adams County Sheriff Travis Patton, talk about trends, new tools, and smart strategies. Their shared goal, curbing violent and property crimes. It's a Law and Order edition this week on Mississippi Insight. I'm Byron Brown. Thank you for joining us for this July 20th edition of Insight. The city of Jackson has a new mayor and a new city council, but there is no change plan for leadership of the city's police force. Chief Joseph Wade says that he's already talking with Mayor John Horn about getting more support for the Jackson Police Department. Wade spoke last week with 12 News political reporter Cameron Smith.
First of all, I'm extremely excited about the new leadership here in the city of Jackson. I've had the opportunity to meet with Mayor Horn multiple times, including this morning, to talk about crime, to talk about the Jackson Police Department, and talk about the future of the Jackson Police Department and what that looks like. Again, I'm very excited about that. I know that he made the statement about taking the cuffs off. Very excited about that, which essentially means that we're going to be more proactive, policing more in a proactive way in our community instead of a reactive way. I'm very excited about that. Things that we normally have not employed, and we're going to be moving forward with that as well, and I'm very excited about that. You know, one of the visions that he has is getting more boots on the ground. I concur 100%. We're going to be going through a complete restructure very soon here at the Jackson Police Department. I will be heading that up. We're going to be reallocating resources and manpower and what that looks like to make sure that we're very well balanced on the investigative side and also on the patrol side. We've made a lot of progress. We've made a lot of progress over the past 2 years that I've been the chief, but guess what, Cameron? We still got a long way to go. I recognize that completely. We have a lot of technology right now. My job is to make sure that we're using it in a very efficient way to get the desired results, right? And the desired result is a safer city of Jackson. When I talk about technology, right now we have license plate readers. We have them situated at strategic locations around the city of Jackson, these license plate readers, something we have never had before in the city of Jackson. I had a chance to visit the Mississippi Fusion Center, and they pull up on the screen the map of central Mississippi. They had Pearl, Ridgeland, Byron, Clinton. All of these agencies have license plate readers. We did not have license plate readers. Now we do. They're situated around the city of Jackson. We're able to track and locate people that are wanted here in the city of Jackson for these violent felonies. We're able to find people as it relates to silver alerts, amber alerts. And we're able to simply be more efficient when it comes to locating suspects in our community. We're not using license plate readers to write stop sign tickets. That's not what that is for. It is to make sure that we're getting these bad actors out of our community, and we've been absolutely successful in doing that. When you talk about technology, we have body cameras. That's a huge accountability piece when a complaint is made against a police officer. It also has a GPS mechanism in it where we can locate officers if we can't get them on the radio. So we have that piece of technology. We have dash cameras now. We're recording footage of traffic stops and interactions with our police officers. We have blue light surveillance cameras situated all across the city. That has helped us tremendously in solving murders and solving cases around the city of Jackson, including murders, robberies, carjackings. But again, we have to be strategic as to where we place them, and we place them based on the data. But also, let's add a layer to the blue light surveillance cameras. We now have facial recognition, which if your face is caught on that camera or someone's home surveillance system, we now can identify who you are, who that bad actor is. In the past, we had to rely on other avenues which were kind of elongated. Now we have a software program where we now can identify who you are. That's huge as we move forward. We made a huge investment in this crime scene command van that we can process these very large crime scenes, where when we have situations like Brook Hollow, the situation that happened last week, where you have over 100 rounds dumped into a community, we don't have to worry about just packaging stuff up, sending it to the state crime lab. We now will have resources in place working with the ATF and our NIBIN program to process these shell casings in real time, process crime scenes in real time, have a vehicle with a hotspot in it where we can identify who suspects are in real time through facial recognition. You know, so many things that we're doing, but another huge one that is a game changer for us. Right now we're working with Flock to install shot spotting detection down in certain parts of Jackson. I'm not going to say exactly where, but we're placing that technology down in these communities where we've had a large call for shots being fired in these communities where people are calling constantly about individuals, reckless, lawless individuals that I talk about weekly, shooting guns in their community. This is a 60-day demo from the company here for Jackson, so it's not costing the taxpayers anything. Then we're followed up with another company, Sound Thinking, that is going to also install shot spotting detection equipment in another location in Jackson. A 90-day demo, no cost to the city of Jackson. Once I evaluate the efficiency of that, which one is better, then I'll be making a decision as to which one I will be moving forward on the purchase of here in the city of Jackson, whether it's with grant funding or with my budget, my regular budget.
Now, all these tools, which one do you think has been the most effective up to now?
Well, I think I'm looking for integration. I don't want just pigeonholes and silos as it relates to technology. As you know, we have our real-time command center, which I see as the brains of all of it. I want complete integration when it comes to our shot spotting detection at the RTCC. I want full integration as it relates to our 911 center at the RTCC. That's something that me and Mayor Horn has talked about. Also, I want full integration as we talk about the license plate readers, shot spotting detection, everything that we need in our toolbox. So there's not one thing, but I would definitely say that the license plate readers and the blue light surveillance cameras have really changed our ability to police here in the city of Jackson. And let me give you this data. I'm data driven. We have to make decisions based on data. And this is shocking to anyone in law enforcement. I've had the opportunity to meet with law enforcement executives from Memphis to Cincinnati to Mobile. And we've talked about our crime numbers here in Jackson, Shreveport. And in 2021, we had 157 murders here in the city of Jackson. 157 people lost their life in the city of Jackson in 2021. That put us on the level of a Chicago, a New York City, Los Angeles, California, and that should not happen based on our population. We can't fight against that narrative that we were one of the most dangerous cities in this country, if not the whole wide world. I lean into that because that brings me to where we are on July 15th of 2025. Last year, this time, July 15th of 2024, we were working 66 murders here in the city of Jackson. I'm not counting what Capitol is doing. I don't have Capitol's homicide numbers or Hinds County Sheriff's Department's numbers. But last year, this time, we were working 66 murders. We have reduced the homicides in the city of Jackson by 50%. As I sit here today, we've worked 33 homicides with 30 of them being solved. Now, I understand that 33 is still too many. I wish that we had none that we had to work. But we have some individuals in our community that are gang related, that are lawless, that do not know how to deal with conflict, and they go from 0 to an assault rifle. And I talk about that all the time. But to go from 66 last year this time to 33, I do not care how skeptical you are or cynical you are, that is progress on a huge scale. And I would challenge those numbers to any law enforcement agency in this country, and I also would challenge a 90% solvability rate in homicides with any agency in this country. And I do talk to chiefs and other agencies across state of Mississippi and around the country. And I've taken some of the the ideas that they've shared with me and put them in play here in the city of Jackson. But again, we're moving toward being more proactive, being more efficient in the technology aspect of it, but doing all this without violating people's constitutional rights and civil rights.
From city to county, we'll have another exclusive interview, this time with Adams County Sheriff Travis Patton, after a quick break. Travis Patton is serving his third term as Adams County Sheriff. He was first sworn in 2016 as the youngest sheriff in county history and the first African-American sheriff since Reconstruction. Crime in Adams County has kept him very busy. I spoke with him Thursday evening, another 12 News exclusive. Sheriff, what are the most pressing crimes trends that you're seeing in Adams County right now?
Right now, it would be youth violence. Youth are using handguns, semi-automatic, automatic weapons at an alarming rate to shoot up anything and everything that they don't agree with. And that's probably the most pressing thing that we have right here in Adams County at this time.
And how are you dealing with the youth that are carrying around guns like that?
Right now, we're dealing with each and every one of them on a case-by-case basis. And each situation is different. I can't, in Natchez and Adams County, we have neighborhood gangs. So we have to deal with each according to whatever crime they commit. Right now, as we speak, we're partnering with state, local, and in some cases, federal agencies to prosecute the crimes where we've gathered sufficient enough evidence to take those youth to task. Now, you know, with the federal side of things, they really don't like to deal with youth as much as we do on the state and local side. So it just depends on what the case offers us.
Yeah, we had spoken to another police chief earlier this week who said he talked to a teen about carrying guns, and the teen said this is just the time that we're in today about carrying weapons. What do you say to that?
You know, back when we were kids, during our times, people used to fight, get over and be friends the next day. These days, you know, it would behoove you not to have a disagreement with a teen if you're the average everyday citizen. It's alarming to me that how quick they are to pull a weapon and shoot just because they haven't been taught conflict resolution. It's almost impulsive. The first instinct is not to talk, not to have a disagreement and agree to disagree and move on. Their first instinct, first thought is I'm gonna shoot and I can care less about the consequences. They don't care about going to jail. They don't care about what their parents think. They don't care about being away from their friends, family, and loved ones, or taking anybody else away from theirs. It is a very, very alarming situation that we have, not only here in our community, but nationwide when it comes to teens and their disregard for life.
And so what are we to do in society today to deal with this crisis?
Well, when you're talking about dealing with teen violence and reducing crime, you have to address the root causes of it. You have to provide support systems, and you have to strengthen community engagement. What I mean by that is the most valuable thing that a person can give a youth or anybody is their time. That person, when they commit to that youth or to whatever program that they're committing to, they have to stay committed to their commitment. They have to be transparent. And when you're talking about approaching this thing, you have to approach it from a multidisciplinary approach. And what I mean by that is you have to have the parents at the table. You have to have people who have been through the system, like what they call violence interrupters these days. Somebody from the educational system, the clergy, mental health professionals, teen, and you need to have the teens at the table as well as people throughout the court system and law enforcement to take a multidisciplinary approach to tackling this. And you have to go neighborhood by neighborhood.
Many of the teens that you're finding and arresting that are carrying these weapons or committing crimes, what's the family structure like that you're dealing with?
A lot of them, you'll find that they were teens raised by other teens. At one point, you know, the family structure was strong, but it has certainly deteriorated over the years. Then the grandparents started raising the kids. Now you have teens having babies that are raising babies, and that structure is no longer there. Therefore, they don't have that authority figure early on to give them the structure and guidance that they need, and it relays over to the public. So when somebody tries to tell them something, where in the old days your neighbor could tell you, I'm gonna tell your mom or deal with you on the spot, that's not the case. You tell a kid that these days, you might get shot, And so those days are over with. And we're seeing that a lot of the teens that are involved in these shootings and these murders and things, they don't have that structure, and the streets influence is greater than anybody else's influence that they have in their life. And as a result of that, prison, the school to prison pipeline is in full effect.
I know there's a lot of talk with administrators who say if I had more police officers or more deputies on the ground, we could curb crime. Can that make a difference, or does it really matter?
You can't arrest your way out of this. You have to get to these people early on. That's nice to have that, and you do need that in certain areas, because in certain areas things have gotten completely out of control. And I'm talking state, nationwide, but you have to get to these kids early. The most valuable thing that you can give a teen or a child early on in life is your time. If you don't, social media has a presence in your home, wherever they at the touch of a finger, and that influence is going to be greater than anything else that you can give them if they don't have a hands-on approach to this thing from the start.
Here in Jackson, we are seeing a drop in the rate of homicides since last year. Are you seeing a similar drop in homicides in Adams County?
Yes, we have had success in the homicide rate, and that's contributed to community engagement. And here in Adams County, I can tell you, if something happens in Adams County, and we have had things happening, as you can see over the news, one thing about our citizens here, they care about raising the standard of living, quality of life here in Adams County. So if they see it, they're going to tell it. And we've opened up avenues where they can make sure that we get the information we need to solve these crimes. And people are seeing that as they give us those informations, we're taking action on each and every one of those. And a direct result of that is a reduction in crime. And I can't just say the citizens, though. Our city aldermen and our county board of supervisors came together and allowed us to do what we call our own little project, Safe Neighborhood in Natchez, where they funded a lot of extra details over the last couple of months for us to get out there and combat crime in our own communities. Because nobody, I don't care who you bring in here, nobody knows your community like the people who live here. And that's not a knock on state or federal agencies, because we love to work with them. We encourage them. We want them to be here. But charity starts at home. And it starts with the people who swore an oath to do just that. And I commend the county and the county board of supervisors and all for stepping up to the plate and saying, hey, we're going to put those additional funds out there for you all to go make our city and county safe. And that's what we've been working on.
Earlier this month, you had a suspect arrested in the Natchez, the Adams County area, wanted for murder out of Jackson. And you've had other suspects or fugitives wanted in your community, wanted from other areas. What is it about that you're getting fugitives that are in that area, wanted from other areas, and how important is it that you have a relationship to get those folks out of your area?
I can't tell you how important it is to network with other chiefs, sheriffs, constables in the law enforcement community, but it's even more important to have people you know outside the law enforcement community as well with those networks. Information is what we live and die by here in law enforcement, and so when people come to this area, we're normally the first ones to know it, and they give it to us because they know one thing for sure: if we get the information and we're aware of it, we're going to collaborate and make sure that it's credible, then we're going to act on it. I don't know what makes people think they can come to Adams County and hide out when they do things like that, but this is the wrong community to come to, because we have enough that we're dealing with already. So when we hear somebody from an outside area coming here who committed crimes in other areas, we make them a priority. But a huge help in that is the media. I can't tell you how great it is for us to have a relationship with local, state, and national media. We've built those bonds over the years, and help goes both ways. When we need to put out information on suspects, you all here at Channel 12 and other stations as well have put it out at the drop of a dime, because I hope we've shown ourselves to be credible over the years. But that is invaluable when it comes to solving a case within the first 48 hours of the crime happening. The media relationship with law enforcement, I would tell any sheriff and chief out there, have a good, open, honest relationship with your media. I promise you, it will help you solve cases in the end. If they won't tell us, they'll at least tell you all. And in some kind of way, we'll make sure that they get it to the Crime Stoppers so that that information will come back and we can act on it. I'm grateful for the relationship that I have with our media partners.
And Sheriff, we thank you for joining us on Mississippi Insight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Byron. I appreciate it.
All right, and we'll be right back. Big thanks to Chief Joseph Wade and Sheriff Travis Patton for joining us this week. We'll be back next weekend with more of the political and current affairs coverage that you demand. I'm Byron Brown from all of us here at 12 News. Make it a great weekend.